Have you ever wanted to look into retro games but aren't sure where to begin? Do you ever wonder which classic games stand the test of time and which ones don't hold up? These are some questions that have been bothering me for a while now, and I think it's about time to do something about it. So I'm going through gaming's history one game at a time to find the best games of all time. Welcome to the Gaming Archaeologist. Another RPG, huh? I really should just stop playing these, as they're clearly not for me, but maybe this will be the one to win me over. This game is taking a while to get going. And here we go, the tedious turn-based wait a minute, it's not turn-based combat. It's real-time combat. And it's pretty good. What is this madness? Those were my general thoughts as I started playing Summon Night Swordcraft Story. At first I wasn't too impressed, as it seemed like a fairly typical RPG, but then I found myself still playing it several hours later, so it must have been doing something right. Summon Night is an RPG in which you take control of a small boy or girl who is trying to become a craft lord, a skilled warrior who can create and wield their own weapons. They enter a tournament to try to become the craft lord of Iron and follow in their father's footsteps. You are given a guardian beast to help you on your journey, and there are 4 different possible guardians you can get depending on how you answer certain questions near the beginning of the game. I ended up getting Sugar, a fairy-like creature, as my guardian beast. I'm not sure what that says about me, but she's a pretty neat character, if a bit clingy. The game primarily takes place in the town of Weistern, and beneath the central tower there is a large labyrinth that acts as the main dungeon. You return to the labyrinth many times in order to fight monsters, gather materials to use to make weapons, and complete story-related missions. The labyrinth kind of reminded me of the Temple of the Ocean King from The Legend of Zelda Phantom Hourglass, which is not a good thing to be reminded of, but thankfully the labyrinth is nowhere near as tedious as the Temple of the Ocean King, even though you do visit it again and again. For one, none of the floors are very big, so even if you had to trek through all the floors again, it wouldn't be that time-consuming. And most importantly, there is a series of teleporters that can be unlocked, so you can just warp straight to one of the lower levels on repeat journeys, which is a feature I really appreciate. As I pointed out in the intro, the combat is not turn-based but rather real-time, which immediately made me like the game more. Instead of just telling your character to attack, you actually control them yourself and attack the enemies yourself. This makes the combat so much more engaging, and it makes leveling up and crafting new weapons feel more important. As you aren't just told that you're stronger, you can actually feel it and see it based on how well you can take down enemies. Another thing I like is that the game starts off smaller. There's no immediate threat to the world or some epic quest you have to embark on. You're just a kid who's competing in a tournament and making friends along the way. As the plot progresses, a saving the world story does emerge, but it's refreshing that the game started off on a smaller scale, rather than immediately beginning with a big bad evil that needs to be defeated. The characters are also pretty good as well, and both the humorous and dramatic moments are quite effective. You also do have some control over how events unfold. Not a ton, but your decisions do have an effect on the ending, and there's enough variety in both the characters and gameplay to give the game a good amount of replayability. The only downside is that the game can get a little tedious at times. While the labyrinth is a well-designed dungeon, trekking through it again and again does get a little annoying. Nowhere near as annoying as in Phantom Hourglass, but still enough to sour the experience a little. And while the smaller scale is appreciated, it also means that you'll be visiting a lot of the same locations over and over. So there's not a whole lot of variety in terms of the environment. But overall I really liked this game. It's a different enough take on the RPG genre that even someone who doesn't like JRPGs can still enjoy it. So while it helps if you're a fan of RPGs in general, I would still recommend the game even if you're not. My final score is an 8 out of 10. Fair warning though, it does have a bit of a slow start, so watch out for that. So what do you think? Have you played Summon Night Swordcraft Story? What's your favorite RPG? Whatever you think, be sure to let me know in the comments below. If you like what I do, feel free to subscribe and follow me on Twitter. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.